Vieira sacked, Conte combusts, and Marco Silva sees red.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. How are we?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Another weekend down.
Yep. Yeah, pretty... Well, I'm sure there's one main topic we'll talk about, but
Yeah.
it's pretty standard, wasn't it? Standard weekend until...
10 games to go. Manager's been sacked. Manager could be sacked as we're speaking.
Yeah. Surprised he's not.
Which we will get on to. But as the intro suggested, Vieira has been sacked, Conte has combusted, and Marco Silva has seen red. Quite a weekend for Premier League managers up and down the country. And my teaser is along them lines, with Patrick Vieira was sacked last week following a recent run of poor results. But can you name the previous 7 permanent managers of Crystal Palace since their return to the Premier League in 2013?
Oh. All right. I thought you... Yeah, that's fine. I'll give it a go, yeah. No.
Yeah, so since 2017, the last
13,
7 permanent managers.
2017.
2013, sorry.
13, yeah.
And
okay.
7 permanent
7,
managers, yeah.
Fine.
They've had the same caretaker take charge like 4 times. So I've excluded him and just the 7 permanent managers.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
But we'll go back to that at the end of the show. But I suppose there is only one place to start.
Don't play. They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. Yeah, it's easy in this way. And Tottenham story is this: 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club or for every manager that stay here. And I have seen the manager that Tottenham had on the bench. You risk to disrupt the figure of the manager and to protect the other situation in every moment. And now, until now, I try to hide the situation, but now no, because I repeat, I don't want to see what I have seen today, because this is unacceptable. Also for the respect for the fans that follow us, pay the ticket, and to see the team another time, to have this type of performance, for me, I repeat, this is unacceptable. And we have to think a lot. We have to think a lot about this.
Thank you for that, Antonio. Stick with it, mate. You've only got 10 games to go.
Head up, mate. Come on. It's not that bad.
Get your millions and then ditch them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That was quite something.
Yeah. That has basically dominated the weekend, hasn't it?
Have you ever heard anything like that before?
No, I don't. Yeah, it's probably one of the first and only times, isn't it? Really, that a manager has come out publicly, but also directly after a game when he's obviously still in a job. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we'll talk about it and get more into it. But yeah, it was pretty full on.
Let's start with what would have caused this rant and rave. Southampton 3, Tottenham 3. Going into the game, Spurs had the opportunity to climb to 3rd place.
Yep.
Playing bottom of the league, Southampton, who they'd previously beat, was it 4-1 early in the season?
4-1, yeah.
4-1. And started off really well, didn't you?
Yeah, we did all right. It wasn't...
Making a few chances, playing nice football. R9 came off after 9 minutes, wasn't it? 4 minutes. So still no goal for R9.
No, 3 different occasions that he's cried. 0 goals.
Well, that's it. So 0 goals, three lots of crying.
Yeah,
and
2 goals in the Champions League. So still cried more times than he scored.
Oh, dearie me. And then did he stop in place of Son, or was it Kulusevski starting in place?
No, yeah, Kulusevski come on for Richarlison. So it was Son, Kane, and Kulusevski.
Okay. And saw Pedro Porro starting ahead of Emerson Royale as well.
Yeah.
And he opened the goal scoring.
Yeah,
You'd have a couple of chances before that, though, didn't you?
Yeah, it was sort of
chances.
But he had, his goal was a carbon copy of the chance he had before, and then he scores his first goal for Spurs, and basically half time, wasn't it? 1-0.
Yeah, Son got the ball, didn't he? Played a crossfield ball with lots of space. Pedro Porro, I think it took one touch and then smashed it past Bazunu in goal.
Yeah.
1-0 up, 45th plus 1 minute, going into half time, 1-0 up. He would have taken that, and probably well deserved lead going into the break. But whatever happened in the half time dressing room of both teams, within a minute, game was level.
Yep, Adams scored.
Really soft goal. Alcott got it on the right, crossed it in. Adams beat Vieira, dived to the ball, flicked it in off the post, 1-1. But it didn't seem to knock your confidence too much because you're still creating chances. Kane had a drive from just outside the box that went over the bar, and then Kane was it a header?
Header 2-1.
Which I saw some stat about him. He scored 9 headers already, and that equals the record for
same as Duncan Ferguson. Most headed goals in the season.
Which I didn't even know he was anywhere near until yesterday when I saw he'd beaten it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then Perisic then just got his first goal for Spurs, making it a 3-1 lead. And you'd have thought with 15 minutes to go, that was all she wrote. And moving up to third.
74th minute, we're 3-1 up at bottom of the table. We've just made it 3-1 with from being 1-1 and everything's in our favour, and then
time to shut up shop and go home with the 3 points, like you just said, like move into third, and like you've got anything really to complain about. But within 3 minutes, the GOAT Theo Walcott
said he'd scored.
Had to score, nip one back, and then that always, whatever two teams are playing, whether it's 3-2 and you've just got one back, the home team's going for that third goal. It's always a nervy occasion. Yeah,
and the side that needs points, they'd rather lose 4-2 when they're going for it than not. And
it was a deep corner from Ward-Prowse, I think it was, headed out, and then the ball fell to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who was assassinated on the edge of the box.
That is one thing.
By Pedro. Was he saying by Sarr? No, it's
never.
Ever. The ref gave it straight away, didn't he? And VAR looked
the ref gave it, and then they looked at it. But they're never going to overturn the ref decision. It's just they're awful.
It was a poor decision.
It's just never a foul. It's never a free kick, foul, tackle, whatever you want. It's the worst. It's the worst of the worst. But like I said the other week, Arsenal, you've had your complaints. Like at the weekend, it was Tottenham. It was Wolves as well. Like it happens it's not just like oh my god, same old Tottenham moaning about it or Arsenal moaning about it. It happens every game over any level that's got VAR involved. Is just awful officiating, awful.
And then up stepped Ward-Prowse, who we actually spoke about last week. Missed a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, it's good.
I'm surprised he took it because he's missed a couple of these. He missed at least 2. He missed one against Leicester and missed one. I can't remember the other game.
Has he missed 3 or 2? Yeah,
he's missed at least 2
recently as well.
So I'm surprised he stepped up and took it, but he did, and what a penalty as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And he said in his post match, didn't he, that he couldn't look Fred Foster in the eye because he's one of his best mates, and he just kept laughing trying to take this penalty.
Yeah, probably laughing at why is that tree in goal? He should be in a retirement home.
And dispatched it in the top corner like a perfect free kick, and Southampton took home a share of the points.
Yeah,
and then this is where the story begins.
This is when it all really kicks off, doesn't it? I mean, I've got loads of things not loads, but a few stats and whatever. But the main issue and talking point is obviously Conte's rage, wasn't it? At the end, he just let loose.
So it was obviously in the press match. He'd won in the post match. Sorry, should I say? He'd won like the stand up interview, and then his main 5-minute rant was he sat down and then just unleashed.
He didn't let it all go, did he?
Do you think it was premeditated? Do you think he's been bottling it up for a while and then just wanted and then decided to go boom? Or it's just off the cuff? He was so angry of that performance.
I would say, it's probably off the cuff, but there's a lot to, there's a lot to talk about surround it all. But it's probably off the cuff, but probably jumping the gun. But I think he's just saving his face but basically saving his own back, just so he doesn't disgrace himself and all the rest of it. Because inevitably when he goes either before the end of the season or in the summer, then it again. Similar to what happens with Mourinho, they don't look terrible, and it's not all their fault. It's Tottenham; they're a horrible, terrible club, and they're the magical elite managers that win loads of things and win loads of games. But like I said, Conte let loose after Tottenham's another abysmal performance. I've just got some snippets of what he said, but you just heard it. Hopefully, players have to take responsibility. A lot of selfish players. I don't see a team. We don't have the spirit. They don't want to play under pressure, under stress. This is Tottenham's story. 20 years, there is the owner, and they've never won something. And then he obviously whine and he kicks up a fuss and walks out. But
Do you agree with it?
I do. Yeah, 100%. I agree with what he said. I do fully agree with what he said. Because he's not wrong and it is correct. But yeah, I just think that's the thing. Like, a lot of supporters that follow Tottenham, they have a similar feeling to him. That is what we feel. We know that, and we see that, and we know that Tottenham are spineless and soft. And the prime example of Tottenham in Tottenham is the weekend at Southampton. We're 3-1 up at bottom of the table, and we draw the game. We can see 2 late goals. Yes, one of them penalties is a disgraceful decision. It should never ever be a foul, but ultimately we've drawn the game, and that is Tottenham in a nutshell. That is classic Spurs. But
I mean, he has taken a swap at every single person possible except him. I don't think he's taken any responsibility himself.
No,
he's also the manager of that club. It needs to stand up and be counted at times. And I don't think this season at all he's covered himself in any glory. The way he speaks, them sort of stuff is probably fine in the dressing room. But
I'm very emotional about this subject. I've got lots of things I could say, but that's the thing. He's been talking this way for the whole season, regardless of what we're doing and how the games are going and whatever. He's been having the same attitude. He's essentially not wanting to be there, which is absolutely fine. We can get rid of you, or Spurs, they can get rid of you. You can leave. That's fine. But yeah, he talks like this the whole game. We've also the whole season. We've also been playing this way from minute one, the start of the season. Like we're not suddenly had a stinker against Southampton. He's come out and gone mental. Like, we have been playing this way since the start of the season. That's because of him. Whether you think the players are crap, we buy rubbish players or whatever. Conte's playing the formation. He's playing this group of players together, and he's the one in charge. So yeah,
there's something. Like I said, it was all singing and dancing. End of last season, obviously finishing top 4. Conte a big hero, but then something's happened in the summer. The signings he's signed, bar Perisic, he doesn't really seem to get on many of them.
No,
like maybe that's he doesn't rate them or they've been poor form, but Richarlison's in and out. He's even said on he's obviously said on tape that he's had a shit season. Basuma, he didn't start a game for 2 months before he came. Sarr didn't start until after the World Cup. Didn't play till after the World Cup. Forster's obviously backup, but Perisic has been the only one that's really. But this actually consistently picked him. And
about Tottenham as well, about our transfers. Yes, we might not recruit the correct people, but me as a supporter and the people listening as supporters, we have no say in who we buy. That is just the way it is. But everyone, and I'm one of these people that we have to. I've said it on here. You have to what's the word? Basically, revamp your side and get rid of old players, even if they've been good, and bring in new players. And I know Dyer still plays, and Davis still plays, and Lloris would still be playing, and there's likes of Sanchez, Moura, but these are Sanchez, Moura, Tanganga. Yes, they're rubbish, and I don't like them. Sessegnon, but they don't play in the starting 11. They are not. Davis and Dyer do, obviously, but the rest of the squad. Romero was brought in a permanent with Conte in charge. Yes, he was on loan beforehand, but he was bought permanently. He brought in Kulusevski. He's brought in Bentancur. Højbjerg is a new player after this Poch era that everyone goes on about. Richarlison was bought this summer. Perisic is Conte's man. I don't care what anyone says. 34-year-old left wing back from Inter, where he was adored. That's his man. Basuma came in. Okay, certain players like Forster, that's nothing. That's just irrelevant. Just forget about it. Jed Spence, obviously, either Conte didn't want him or don't like him for whatever reason. But yeah, and Porro we bought in January. Royale is a new player after that era, all that rubbish. So this whole new squad, and Conte's saying about there's no spirit and we're not a team and we're not this, we're not that. But isn't part of Conte's job being responsible for the culture, being responsible for the team spirit and the way we play football and the way the environment of Spurs is. So yeah.
It seems to be a thing that follows him around his managerial career. He falls out of his players. He falls out of his team. He fell out with Costa when he was at Chelsea, and that was a big no for all the squad adored him. And then it sounds stupid, he dumped him over text basically, didn't he?
Yeah.
He texted him saying, "You're not my plans next season. You're getting sold." That obviously caused uproar on the Chelsea dressing room. And at Inter, I think he fell out with the board, or fell out because they wanted more money. And is he just a money manager, like a bit like a Mourinho was back in the day, where you just need to when you go to a club like Spurs, you can't throw money at it. The success is limited because there's not so much you can do. Like with the players he's got,
we do spend.
You do spend money, but you're buying. I think we've mentioned it on here before.
Yeah.
When you buy a player, like, let's look at Basuma, for example, centre midfielder. Why have Spurs got him for 35, 40 million, and why haven't
Arsenal got him?
Why haven't Chelsea went and got him? Why haven't I
always say that, and that'll always.
You do get ones do get ones that go under the radar, and you think that's such a great signing. Like you could throw Aaron Ramsdale out there, for example. Like, he's seems a solid goalkeeper in the Premier League, but relegated twice. There was a reason no one touched him, but there was obviously some underlying issue that someone thought let's take a punt on him. But the signings have been poor. No one's really come in and set the world alight. But I said it last year about Spurs. I thought obviously Spurs got fourth. I was never really that impressed with them.
No,
it was Arsenal didn't have a striker for all season, so we're playing with 10 men basically. And Spurs had Son and Kane playing at such a high level.
Yeah.
Son has fallen off an absolute cliff.
Yeah,
he's got 4 goals this season.
That is one thing about
and that really is affecting Spurs in general. Because even if you weren't playing well, he's such a good finisher. You give him half a chance, bang, you can go home 3 points. If it wasn't for Kane having a season of his life that is going under the radar,
and even that's not. I mean,
he's got 21 Premier League goals.
We're still. I know it's ridiculous. We're still technically still fourth, and yes, people got games in hand, and they'll do this, do that. But we're still fourth because of players like Kane. That he's scored 21 league goals, and we're clinging on and beating sides and winning games purely through one person. Just sort of goes back to this, like, sort of my initial thoughts of what he come out with and what he said. But it's March. He said this on March 18th. His contract is up in the summer. Excuse me. Where was this like passion and emotion weeks and months ago? January, when we had a chance to slightly improve our situation, Conte's own situation. We bring in Danjuma. I don't know who that is, whether that's Levy, but I doubt Levy's sitting there going, "Oh yeah, Danjuma looks quality." Yeah, I think he tells that Paratici bloke, "Yeah, go and get him. We want him." I doubt it, because I also doubt that Levy says, "Yeah, Porro, we need Porro. He's quality. 40 million, please." Yeah, no, it's not the way. I agree that Levy definitely decides on how much we spend and how he goes about it. Like the Porro deal seemed to drag on, and we got him last seconds. 100% that's Levy, but we've still got Porro,
we still signed him in
we still signed this bloke. We still signed Danjuma, who I don't think will ever play a Premier League minute. I don't think he has or will, but
he's an Everton player. Well, he was at Bournemouth, and then he went to Villarreal, was good, and then he's got to move back to the Premier League.
Yeah. But just quick, like I was saying, on Conte, if he cares so much and he's got all this passion, this emotion, and wants the team to win and wants the club to do well, then he needs to bring that same energy to Levy and Tottenham, sign a new deal, commit yourself to Spurs, and then he might have to reduce his pay packet and come to an agreement with Levy. But yeah, you're meant to be this elite winning manager, then
go prove it.
Go show us how good you are. If you do this rant on the weekend, and like I said before, you're 100% correct. I agree with what he's saying. And you want to be part of Tottenham, then go and do it. Sign a new deal. He hasn't. What has he been? 12, 13 months, like we said, 13, 14 months. Sorry, like I said, he's been talking this way for a very, very long time now, and he hasn't come out in the way he did at the weekend. But yeah, he seems so anti-Tottenham. Yeah.
Well, like I said to you before on this podcast, that he's always come across to me in his pressers and things like that he's above Spurs.
Yeah,
and that rubs me up the wrong way. I have no interest in Tottenham Hotspur, but to see a manager talk that way about his own club, it's disrespectful. It's even more annoying or hurtful from a Spurs, knowing he's ex-Chelsea and he's basically talking down to you, saying, "I've done all this. You need me to get you there. Okay, then prove me. Prove why you are this top class manager."
And if he's I know it's small things and we go on about it, but if he's this elite manager, he's so good. Sheffield United's a prime example in FA Cup. We go there, play our best team, our best players, and win the game. You don't go there, play a half-assed team, leave Kane, Kulusevski on the bench, and then bring them on later on in the game because you want to win the game. And then you come out and say Tottenham are spineless and they don't win anything, blah, blah. That's a perfect opportunity to try and win something, and you play a weakened side. And like, who are we to not play our best side at a promotion side that are going to be in the Prem next year, most likely, and try and win the game? So It's just and that game will never ever be forgotten ever.
And going back to Conte, just his basic fundamentals as a coach. Name me one player he's improved in the last 12 months. He's been there. No one. Kane is just Kane, so you can't even count that.
Yeah, they're an anomaly, aren't they? Kane and Son are anomalies.
Even Son's. I say Son's declined.
Yeah, he's just got worse.
He's got worse, hasn't he? No one there looks like they want to play for the manager. We joked the other week that you perked up against Man City and is it Chelsea at home, and Royale was having the time of his life because he wasn't getting barked at on the touchline.
And now he doesn't play though. He's not played. It seems like he's not part of his ideas and plans. So, yeah.
Are you surprised waking up this morning and he wasn't sacked? Did your gut say that's him?
By the time we're tonight, I thought he'd be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, purely on the fact that Levy and the club and whoever, they just wouldn't allow.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah, they just wouldn't allow the manager of the team to talk about them and their club that way. Whether you like Levy, you agree with Levy, or you like the board, whatever, you hate the board. But yeah, just purely on the basis of someone you've employed to then talk about your club, your team, your players. And yeah, I thought he would be gone.
So I think I heard that they said that Conte had to come out and clarify that his outburst was purely aimed at the players and not Levy, wasn't it?
But how can it not be? How can it not be anything but about Spurs as a whole?
Do you think he crossed the line at all? Or do you think everything he said was... Or anything he shouldn't... If he had hindsight, he shouldn't have said, or... whether he was even right to say it in the first place. Is that sort of stuff that has to be put behind closed doors?
Yeah, mate, that's the only thing.
You bollock them in the changing rooms,
and
then you just have to be professional, do your job.
Yeah.
And because I've been following football for years, I've never seen a manager do that sort of thing and then come back from it. Come back for it.
Exactly.
They never come back. Once the dressing room's gone.
Yeah.
Mourinho it happened so many times with him.
Yeah.
United, he did it at
and that's the
Chelsea
if
did
he's
the second time round.
I hope and pray that he's doing this behind closed doors and in the change room and to the players. But yeah, and if he's not, then but it's also one of them, like we said earlier, that he talks like this all the time, and that if it was someone that was not doing well, but we supported and we backed and all the rest of it, and then he come out with this, you're like, oh yeah, fair enough, we need to follow that man, get rid of 4 players and blah blah blah. But yeah, it's just I just think it's Conte just basically trying to save himself before it goes horribly wrong.
I mean, the only sort of thing I can compare it to a little, it's nowhere near the same, but I remember when Arteta first took the reins, his situation was Ozil. He then left him out the squad. He turned up late, didn't want him. Banned, but he was still on 350k a week, just not in the squad. And Arteta had to keep that on his shoulders. Same with Aubameyang, same with Socrates. He had to block all these players out. And you either win the dressing room by doing that, or you lose the dressing room. And as a player, what must you think when you're sitting in there? Obviously, you got the hump. You've just thrown away that lead.
Yeah.
You've drawn the game. You go on your phone and you listen to that, and you've got to get the coach about this guy as well. And you just listen to. They're all going to be talking about it on their WhatsApp groups. And does that give you the motivation to right, let's push our shoulders up and let's go. Let's prove him wrong, or are you just like, nah, screw him, and down tools, and that's what
massively, and I think it's massively to the way we're playing football anyway, and the way our formation and style. But yeah, the likes of Dyer, Davis are poor players or below average and not playing well. Højbjerg is awful footballer. They're just not going to want to play for someone like that. And who's coming out and saying all this stuff about him. And he's not right saying he's not wrong. And he shouldn't come out and mollycoddle them and oh yes, okay, we do okay. But yeah, I just think he should have been behind closed doors in the changing room, a man to man. Like I said earlier, if he's that passionate about it all, then hopefully he's knocking on Levy's door and going, mate, what's going on here?
Give me a new deal.
Yeah, but he's not. There's no chance in hell.
No,
there's no way.
It's 2 stubborn men.
Yeah, that
who are highly professional and highly egotistical, and they're not backing down. He's laid the gauntlet down. Conte and be like, right, this is it. Sack me now.
Yeah,
I've done everything now to be sacked. I've got knocked out of every competition.
Yeah. The
only thing that's keeping him, I think, not sacking him is obviously the ego, but he is still 4th.
But even that, he said, in his speech or whatever, he said it doesn't matter. We finished 7th, 8th. It's irrelevant. So he's already trying to he's already worming his way out of that. So
I actually put a note here. Do you remember on the Amazon doc, when Mourinho was in charge, you had Dyer calling out all the players, and it was like say names, etc. Don't just say, "Oh, we're doing this."
Yeah.
Could he have even gone as far to call out certain players, or is that just?
That would have been mental, but.
Does he have to name like Levy? Like, you're not giving me the money. Does he have to go that direct? No, obviously we can all read between the lines, but it's like you said. There's certain players that have been there who have let. How many times has player X, player Z let you down time after time after time? Yeah. But
I just think
why do these players keeps getting picked? Why is a formation never getting changed? Why is it always the same boring football?
Yeah.
Try a 4-4-2, try a 4-3-1.
We played this whole way the whole season from, like I said, the first game, all the competitions, league, cups, Europe, all the rest of it. We've played exactly the same way. We've lost our last 5 away games. Or no, we haven't won in 5. We've drawn 1.
So lost 4-1 to Leicester, 1-0 to AC Milan, 1-0 to Sheffield United, 1-0 to Wolves, and 3-3 draw to Southampton. And that's your longest winless away run in a single season since December 2019 to January 2020.
Yeah, we conceded 14 away goals since the restart of the World Cup. That's the most out of any side in the league. Southampton, again, who are 20th, they're bottom, 2 points off 17th, had 19 shots against us. They scored 3 goals, bottom of the league.
So interesting. Last week we actually had a bit of a segment on managers to be sacked and whatnot.
Yeah.
Sky Bet last week was the next manager to go. Conte was 9-4. This week he's 5-1 on.
Really?
To be the next the next one to go.
Well, he's doing everything. He's trying his best.
He's done everything possible.
He's also been, like I said plenty of times, but he's the 3rd highest paid manager in the league. 3rd highest. 3rd. You get paid.
I'm assuming Klopp and Pep.
Yeah, Klopp and Pep are like 15, 20 million. He's on supposedly 15, could be 12. It's in between there somewhere, but he's the 3rd. We have no right to be paying a manager that amount of money, no right. But because of the owners that everyone hates and despises, Levy, and all the rest of it, we have managed to get this fantastic world-class manager Conte in, and that's how much he repays us.
I mean, I know we talked last week. We didn't really have an answer for who do you want next. A name I heard branded around, whether he would take the job or not. Thomas Tuchel.
Nah, he wouldn't.
But again, as a Spurs fan,
no, I wouldn't want.
Do you want
another?
No. Chelsea manager?
No.
I know it's all banter, like in our group chat, for example. It's like, here we go again.
Yeah. No, I
think that's part of the reason as well. Like, he's obviously a very good manager, but do you want him? Do you want another?
No. We're done. We're done with trying to do that route. That's not essentially. That's not Tottenham. Like Conte saying, 20 years without a trophy, 15 if you want to be all pedantic about it, but that is not Spurs anymore. We're not going to do that. We're not going to get. We are not going to get Conte in like a Conte manager and spend 300, 400 million, which they want. They need. That person, whoever it's Conte, Mourinho, they need that sort of money, and they're not going to get that from Spurs. But we will pay the wages of a manager, 15 million. Yeah, happy. Levy's more than happy to spend 15 million on one person over a contract. But yeah, we just need to go back to not necessarily Poch, but that sort of manager, someone that's going to maybe enthusiastic and want to prove himself and grab a group of players and go, right, this is how we're going to play and this is what we're going to do, and go from there. And yeah, because
another manager's name, I can't remember his exact name, I should have wrote it down to be fair, was the Sporting Lisbon manager.
Yeah, the young guy.
Who's apparently doing quite well. Obviously, they knocked out Arsenal in the week. Pedro Porro came from there. But apparently they're playing nice football when he's a young manager, and that could be like a Poch, because didn't Poch come from, was it Espanyol to Southampton?
Yeah.
And was building a nice little CV, building a bit of reputation about his name.
Yeah.
And maybe that is, well, for me, that's always a preferred route than going to go get the big gun.
Yeah.
I think that's just a more natural involvement. They're growing with the club. I mean, you need a wipeout. Like Arsenal, sorry to bring it back to Arsenal again, but they finished 8th in a row twice.
Yeah.
Like, we needed that. We needed the first reset, and then the lockdown season was horrific, but we needed that. Just to literally get rid of all the crap, blood our youngsters through, and go from there. And like
but that's even Arsenal. Arsenal probably.
I think this also. Spurs are also comparing themselves this season to Arsenal, where they're having Arsenal having a super season.
Yeah.
Spurs are. Don't know, it's the wrong way. Having a normal season. They're fourth.
We're
They're
currently
fourth and been
fourth,
knocked out
yeah.
all the cup competitions.
Yeah.
Nothing else has changed.
No, but even being knocked out of the cup is no different for
No,
us.
exactly.
Like, we don't get to the finals. We don't win these competitions.
But I think that's
so,
and
yeah.
if someone said to you fourth beginning of the season, like, it was
Yeah.
maybe a bit disappointing if you were to finish a bit higher.
But what? Yeah, on Arsenal though, what they're better and also doing a very similar thing to what we had like a season or two of being up there and compete. I thought we were going to win the league and all the rest of it, but Arsenal are better than what we were then, I think. But and they're obviously they are a bigger club than us, and they have more money and they spend more money, but they're still a notch below City, United. Newcastle will overtake them in spending, but they're doing it in a way, or done it, or doing it in a way, whatever you want to say it and see it, in a way that's similar to what Spurs would like to do. And it's like you said, you finished 8th 2 seasons in a row, but now you're absolutely buzzing, could win the league, and you don't even think about that.
That's like the quote unquote like project that people have been going around. That's what Man United are going with this project now. Stop signing these overpaid superstars and bring players who want to play for your club and likeable. Well, that was the main thing I really liked about last season. My main takeaway from last year was I really like every player again now, apart from Cedric. I really like and now he's gone. I really like every single player at Arsenal. There isn't a player there like I don't particularly like the whole starting lineup.
Yeah.
I think they come across as like nice lads, good lads, all fantastic footballers, and I can't moan about any of them. I was if he comes in like, whereas like 3 years ago, I couldn't stand the team. There was like one or two players. I was like, it was literally Saka and Smith Rowe, and that was it. The whole team were just toxic.
Yeah.
And you had these people just sitting there on big contracts who've let you down time and time and time again. But because there's no one else, you have to play them, and that's what Spurs are at the moment.
And that's exactly what we're going through. And we're going to be... Conte will go either now or in the summer, and we will have a 34-year-old left wing back. What's he
I
going to
think
do?
that's an issue why in January the signings are so drab and because like, I think I mentioned it before that why is Levy going to go sign a right wing back for £50 million when the next manager ain't going to want to play with wing backs? They want to play with right backs, full backs, like
we got Perisic, like I keep saying, aging. He's going to go back to Italy. We've got a centre back on loan that doesn't even want to play for Tottenham, but the long lay doesn't even want to be at Spurs. So, and like you're saying, why would Levy and Tottenham go and buy these players? But also in the same breath, why has he brought Conte in? Why did he bring Conte in and go that route with Mourinho from the start, and then even tried Nuno? Like, why do that? But also right now, why would he go and spend all this money on certain players that supposedly fit Conte's perfect system? When at the weekend he's come out and give it all that. So,
because I remember saying a few years back when you went and got Spurs, when it went and got Mourinho, I think my exact quote was, "Is it worth selling solely your club?" Like, obviously, I'm being dramatic here, for a Carling Cup, because that's what Mourinho literally did. He got to the final, and then you sacked him the day, but. He didn't make you any bet. You wouldn't have been any better in the long term or even the short term. You would have won the You would have won a trophy. That would have been it. You would have won a Carling Cup, and that would have been it. And is it worth literally? Like I said,
no, it's not.
Selling.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Going down the Mourinho routes of having the drab, ugly football. Him castrating the club at every opportunity and moaning about this and saying, "Oh, what irritates me about these managers is I've done this over here. I've done it over here. This is how it's like." Go do it then.
Yeah,
because when you were at Chelsea, when everything was, you weren't saying, "Oh, I've done this."
No,
you just got on with it.
Because when he was at Chelsea, he had Abramovich who had endless pockets.
Real Madrid, same thing. Yeah.
Same idea. And Conte, same when he was at Chelsea, had endless pockets of money. And it's annoying. It's very, very frustrating.
It is one of them things. But do you think the 2-week break is a blessing in disguise, or do you think it's going to leave it to fester more? Like, do you want to just go and play the next game tomorrow and let's get a win and let's move on away? Or
I think it'd be a good thing, and I'll be again very surprised if by the end of it he's not gone.
You think you'll be gone by your next? Because that was my next question.
Yeah, this international break.
Your next Premier League game, which is actually on a Monday. It's Monday night, isn't it, against Everton away.
Ryan Mason against Daesh.
You think he won't be in charge?
I'll be shocked if he's still there after that. Like I said before, purely on what he said and how he said it, no boss, whether you're working at Co-op or you own Tottenham Hotspur, you can't accept that from some. I know he's the manager and he's a very senior role and a lead role, but essentially he's still below his manager as such, his boss. And yeah, you just can't talk about your boss like that. So I'll be very surprised either he walks or gets sacked or whatever. But again, like you said, it all comes down to two very stubborn people.
Yeah.
And
about money.
About money. Once again, everything revolves
Which he
around
even
money.
said in his thing. We're both all very, very well-paid people.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And then he's come out and not recently, but he has said as well, it's not about the money and that's not why he does it, blah, blah, blah. But like I said earlier, we tried to get him in 2021 in the summer. He didn't come. He didn't want to join us. So we then waited a few months and got him in November, paid him an extortionate amount of money for a year and a half, and he's gone, oh yeah, I'll have some of that, please. Yeah, thank you.
I was just about to say, it's quite easy to say it's not all about money when you're getting paid £12 million.
Yeah, of course not.
Because like
money's
you
not
said
an
it
option, it's
perfectly.
not a thing.
He rejected you, and then he thought.
Yeah.
Then he saw you were doing crap. You sacked Nuno, and then he's rubbing his hands together. You're coming back to me again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll come this time, but pay me X, Y, Z more.
Yeah.
And I'll come.
And people are
and I'll come an
18
month. He's on an 18-month contract, which was just the writing's on the wall straight away.
Yeah. And they said obviously they're going to come out and say the right things and said, it's about Conte coming in, see if he likes Spurs or if Daniel Levy and Tottenham like Conte, what, for £15 million? But he should be doing it for free then if he wants to come and have a look round. Like,
you can't
he's
get
not buying a
managers on
house.
loan.
Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. And that's the other thing about Spurs owners. Everyone moans about them and all the rest of it. And I'm not like, I love Daniel Levy, but you probably think I sound like it. But the owners and Levy aren't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. And they're, whether you like it or not, they're part of the reason Tottenham, wherever you think we're at where we are. We've got a brand new stadium, a beautiful, amazing, world-class stadium. We've got all these deals with NFL and the Formula One that's coming in. I'm not saying that I love all that, but that's continuously making us money. Being able to afford a manager like Antonio Conte, a world-class winning elite manager, paying him £15 million for 18 months. Like, yeah, I just and we still got Harry Kane, who's a £200 million player. We've got him because of Daniel Levy, whether you like that or not. That's the only reason he's still at the club. So
and his idiot brother.
Yeah, he's stupid agent, but yeah, it's
So there was actually I don't know how true it is, but there was an article in the newspaper today came out. It was obviously everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. Apparently, Spurs want 100 million up front for Kane in the summer. Do you reckon that's a figure that gets accepted? And do you think that's what? No, it's going to sound ridiculous. Do you sort of think it has to go to rock bottom for you get rid of your manager? Obviously, Kane's not an issue, but that whole lingering, is he going to stay? Is he going to go?
Yeah, I think.
Or do you build round? Or do you try and maximise the build around? And is he going to want to stay for a rebuild?
No. Well,
I don't know. This is all the issues and questions we
really
have.
Don't know. We're not. I know it sounds stupid and cliche. We're not inside his like Harry Kane's brain, and we'll never know. But I'd obviously absolutely love him to play his whole career at Spurs and continue to play for us and score goals. But if, again, I said it last summer, but if he was to go this summer, if you look at what's going on at Spurs, then he would go this summer if he can. Again, Levy essentially is the linchpin to all of that, and he's the reason he'll stay or go. And it could be 100 million now, it could be 150, it might be 70 million, then plus 50, whatever, we don't know. But yeah, like you said, I think, and we're not even be rock bottom. We might finish 6th, and again win nothing. Shock. That's no surprise there. We might finish 6th and be in Europa League, we're too good for that. We might finish 6th. So
well, like I said, I think this has been like an atypical Spurs season. I think it's just been maximised by the fact that Arsenal are top.
Yeah, Arsenal
I
top.
think that really is hitting home.
It'd be the worst season of my life and many, many other lives if Arsenal win the league, Chelsea win the Champions League, and West Ham win that stupid Conference League, and Spurs finish 5th, 6th, whatever, 9th. Got no manager, got Ryan Mason in charge. Yeah,
I don't actually. I've just thought of something at the top of my head. I might be speaking out of term here, but I know the winners of the Conference League get Europa League space.
Yeah, they go in it.
Does that take like the sixth
surely
place
not.
off?
No, surely not.
Can you imagine?
No, that would be chaos.
Imagine if they did to you what Chelsea did. You remember when they put you in Europa League? And
the final year that happened.
They took you from Europa to Conference.
Oh. Sure, maybe
I think this would be season 1 of Talking Loyal, and that'd be
that'd be it. If Arsenal win the league, it's probably the end of this anyway. So sort it out, Pep.
We'll see. We'll see. Have you got any more on your? So before the pod, Jack was like, "Can I just?" We run through the notes before we do a note check quickly, and he's got like 3 pages.
I don't even know if I've said it all
Conte.
or whatever, but like I was telling Tate last night, like I said, we always do notes and read up on stuff, but all the stuff I've got on Spurs and Conte and all the rest of it, it just took so much energy to do. Like my brain is just fried. So again, I'm looking at all this stuff now. I don't even know if I've said half of it, but yeah, there's a lot to be said about Spurs, and I think I've said enough.
I think we've said enough. Right. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with part 2 of the show.
Hello listeners, it's former England and Premier League player Matt Jarvis here. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Remember to support the podcast by sharing with your friends and family and leaving that 5-star review. Now come on you Irons and stay loyal.
Right, welcome back to part 2. There was more that happened in football last week than just Antonio Conte.
There were some other Premier League fixtures over the weekend.
Part 2 is going to be a quick review on the Wolves-Leeds game, a bit on the FA Cup, a bit on the week that was European football-wise, Champions League, Europa League and Conference League, and then your usual team of the week, winner and loser, and then the answer of the teaser. So let's start with the Wolves versus Leeds game. Wolves 2, Leeds 4.
Yep.
I actually fancied Leeds to win this. I clicked them on our poll on the Insta. Yeah, I fancied them.
I think I said Wolves, and I know, I think, cause I did it again. I did it at Super 6. I said 1-0 Wolves, and obviously terribly wrong. Leeds 2-0 up early on, and 3-0. Yeah, it was just mad, wasn't it? 6 goals.
Yes.
2 sides fighting for their lives at the bottom.
Which is, the whole fixture is just bonkers, to be honest. Because obviously Harrison opened the goal scoring, then Ayling made it 2-0. Christensen came on as a sub after about 50 seconds, scored to make it 3-0. And then Johnny scored an absolute worldie.
What a belter as well, wasn't it?
Obviously the keeper came out. You could blame the midfielder. Was it Rocco? Just sort of
he
kicked
just
it up
helped
in
it
the air,
on, didn't he? He
didn't know he was there. Yeah,
he just thought nothing. I'm just gonna sort of flick it this way.
I think Johnny's the last person that pitch.
Yeah,
could have got his
hit a
ability to do
volley.
that.
Yeah, controlled a volley from 40 yards. Ridiculous.
And then that Tuna, is that you pronounce it? Or the Wolves striker?
the new signing.
Yeah, from Atletico. Scored a deflected goal. Went round like he'd scored
the
Ballon d'Or winner. And then Rodrigo made it 4-2 in the 97th minute. Obviously Johnny was sent off in that, and then also Matthias Nunes was sent off the field in the closing minutes of the game. All just a mad game.
Yeah, there was VAR calls a lot, wasn't it?
I don't know if you've seen this going around the internet. What makes it even more like freaky is that on Saturday, March the 18th, 2023, that was when Wolves played Leeds. Exactly a year ago to the day, March 18th, 2022, Wolves played Leeds at Molineux. Johnny scored in both games. Jack Harrison scored in both games. Rodrigo scored in both games. And Luke Ayling's last goal was in that game.
Really? It was 3-2, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Another game full of goals.
And Raul Jimenez got sent off. It's literally a carbon copy on exactly the same dude. Luke Ayling's last 2 goals in Premier League have been on the same day, both away at Wolves, exactly a year apart. Just a mad afternoon at Molineux. VAR was involved. VAR sent off Johnny.
Rightly so as well. It was bad. It was awful tackle.
How did the refs not see that in normal time as well? Like Luke Ayling's leg, that gave me like shivers. That was like,
it was bad. And that's what he said on Sky, didn't they? He said like, just hope he gets up, but it was like without a broken leg or whatever. It was a rough tackle. But Johnny's first player to score and get sent off for Wolves since Chris Ulumu. Yeah,
who's actually Scottish.
Yeah, he done that in 2008.
Yeah. Chris Ulumu. He was a Colchester United boy, anyway.
Yeah,
and Burnley. And a Burnley boy. But this was a classic game of just prime Barclays. Like,
yeah, it was.
If you're like taking a bloke off the face of the earth and want to bring him to Barclays, that is it.
Yeah, that was
just 2 like crap teams like punching the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Absolute class. Leaves Wolves in a bit of a weird place. They beat Spurs, then lose to Leeds, and it's just...
Yeah, they're one place above Leeds. Wolves are 13th with 27 points, same as Palace. And they're, like I said, 1 win in 5. And in that little run, they've had some difficult games. But, yeah, they got beat by Bournemouth at home, 1-0. And they now play Forest away. And, yes, they beat us, but they got beat by Leeds, got beat by Bournemouth. All teams are around them. And on the flip side of that, Leeds have gone to Wolves and won. They're the games you need to win, the ones when
and
they're
beat
playing.
Southampton as well.
Yeah, when they're... That's what. Yeah, exactly. They're beating sides in and around them.
Wolves 1 win in 5, but still 13th. Now Vieira's been sacked, and the Palace just can't.
Dreadful.
12th to 20th are all in a relegation thing. Southampton keep giving a little bit of hope.
Yeah,
here and there.
Yeah, they're clinging on, aren't they? I know the points aren't that large, and there's not a big of a gap, but yeah, Southampton are just doing enough.
After the break, though, not the physical break, but after the international break, massive West Ham versus Southampton. Huge. Like,
big game. Yeah.
If you wanted to define 6-pointer, that is it. If Southampton win that, they go 2 points above West Ham, which is just nuts.
Yeah, 'cause West Ham didn't play at the weekend, did they?
No, so there are a few games, but next week is like a double game week for a lot of teams. I've just got the fixtures here, actually, to be honest. Bournemouth played twice, Leeds played twice, Forest played twice. There's a lot. I won't bore you with them all. But yeah, it was just a mad afternoon at Molineux. There was an interesting call on, I think it was, who's the right back? Semedo. Could have been a penalty, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... If
two ex-Barca boys tackling each other.
They give the one at Spurs Southampton, then that has to be a penalty.
I don't know where Barca got all these right backs from. Like them two, Royale.
Yeah.
Just all these crap
all
right backs.
Terrible players.
Fullbacks. They're just terrible.
Yeah, Firpo swiped at the Wolves player, didn't he? And it obviously wasn't given, but... Yeah, if they give the one at Southampton, then that is a stonewall.
I think it was the 7th and 8th red card this season Wolves have received as well.
Really?
Which doesn't help.
That's not good.
You can't keep getting men sent off and hoping to win games.
And the Leeds 4th goal, Lopetegui was fuming when he was Traore. That's how that...
I get it.
The guy got sent off.
Yeah, because maybe it is a foul, but not on Traore. It's not.
Not on the brick shit.
He's an absolute beast, isn't he? Like he pulled him, but come on, grow up.
He could have easily got the ball back and carried on. It was there. It just wasn't a foul, and that's why is it Nunez that got sent off. But I've seen that as well. They're going to appeal it, but he almost gets. I think he gets pushed into the full fish or linesman, and have you seen the video? The lineman's like pointing at him.
Yeah,
like,
they runs away.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it might get rescinded. But
we'll be talking about pushing officials shortly.
Yes. Yeah. Please do.
And just before we move on, I just wanted to make a note. I think a real positive for Leeds is that Rodrigo's back, and he's got 11 Premier League goals this season. Like,
after
Bamford can't hit a barn door, but Rodrigo is finding form and scoring goals. He's had a long injury. I think he was injured just before the World Cup.
Yeah, and that Nonto's looks like a really good player for them.
He does, yeah. He got an assist for Harrison's goal, didn't he?
Like they took him off, didn't they, and brought that Christensen on, and it worked well. He scored, and they won the game, but. Yeah, Nonto was probably their best player up to that point. So
Rodrigo became the first player to score in 4 consecutive Premier League games against Wolves. It's a weird stat.
Yeah, obviously likes against Wolves.
And just a note on Meslier before we move on. You see, he became the youngest goalkeeper ever to reach 100 appearances in the Premier League. 23 years old. The Palace goalkeeper might get that if
he carries on. Jesus.
I know he was 19, but he looked like an absolute child. Okay.
They couldn't be worse, Palace, at the minute. They could not be worse.
They were shocking. Let's just run through a quick run through of the rest of the Premier League results, and then we'll move on to the FA Cup. Forest lost 2-1 at home to Newcastle. Last minute penalty Isaac on the Friday night. Newcastle.
Another shocking VAR decision, the offside that just. But I'm again, I would say the same point, but Tottenham had it. Newcastle had it Friday night. Wolves had decisions that didn't go their way at a weekend. Like, it just happens in every game. It's not and then even Fulham United at Old Trafford, another prime example. Like, it's just always every game. It's ridiculous.
Villa 3-0 to Bournemouth. Brentford 1-1 Leicester. Leicester stopped the rot. You can call that stopping the rot. Southampton 3, obviously Spurs 3. Chelsea 2-2 draw to Everton.
Great goal from Sims.
Sims last minute, was it 85th minute? When it
Sims with the limbs.
He sent Koulibaly all the way back to Napoli. Gave him the hips, and then Kepa just Kepered.
But that was...
Can't take anything away from the boy, can you?
That sort of goal is like that's my favourite goal. Is striker gets it, beats his man, just strikes it, rolls it past goalie.
It's like an uglier version. I don't know if your listeners can picture this goal. An uglier version of Rashford's goal against Man City when he was like 17.
Yeah.
He put it through Dimitri's legs, I think, and then just slotted it past Hart, and then just give the old hush to the fans. It's great. And then Arsenal 4, Palace 1.
Skip.
That was the Sunday game. I haven't really got much to add. I thought maybe that's me just being a pessimist that Palace might show a bit more.
Never.
They had a chance in the first couple of minutes, but that was Arsenal looked ruthless for they actually looked like they put them to the sword, and
Never.
they weren't very good at all.
No. Palace managers haven't got a manager. 19-year-old in goal. Zaha's just an absolute donkey.
Do you think it's a really bad decision to sack him though, personally? If you're going to bring Roy Hodgson in,
what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah. And I'm not going to say it because we'll move on, but if you listen to what Company said about it all, he has a very good opinion on it, I think, about who, like their recent games, who they're playing. Yeah. Again, similar to Spurs, like what do Palace expect? I know they're in a relegation battle. Yeah, they're 12th.
If you finished 10th or 12th, like, does it really matter?
Yeah, and then now the next run of games are quite winnable games, and they could get a few points. So,
right, let's move on to the FA Cup. Man City 6, Burnley 0. Surprise, surprise. Erling Haaland scored another hat-trick.
Another one.
Erling Haaland has scored 6 hat-tricks this season at the Etihad, which is more... He's failed to score in 5 games this season at the Etihad, but scored 6 hat-tricks. He scored more hat-tricks than he has failed to score in games. He scored 5 in the week against Leipzig. So he scored 8 goals in 2 games this week. Not too bad.
They've scored 13.
I'd love to know how many goals Neil Maupay has scored in the last 3 years. Is it more than 8?
Yeah. There's not much you say about him. That freak is a...
No, it's just
machine.
Absolute madness. And then think he scored. What is even more crazy? Against Leipzig, he scored 5 goals in 59 minutes, and then got subbed in the 60th minute. And he scored 3 goals in 58 minutes, and then gets subbed in the 60th minute.
I think
he's played an hour, and he's played 2 hours of football out of like 180 minutes, and bags 8 goals.
8, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, he scored 5.
And on Palace, Man City have scored 7 plus 6, which is 13 goals.
Yeah.
And apparently people are saying they're not the same Man City, or
we'll see when Pep bends over for Arteta. We'll see.
We'll see. Sheffield United 3, Blackburn 2. I only watched the last bit. I watched literally 2 minutes of this game, and it was the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was good.
What a goal!
Yeah, good 2 minutes turn on. Yeah, from
Sheffield United took the lead. No, Blackburn took the lead. Sorry, for a penalty. Yeah. It was a Diaz penalty, wasn't it? Sheffield United equalised with a deflected. It was an own goal, actually, ended up being.
Yeah.
Sammy Simodics scored 2-1. And then McBurney equalised 2-2, and then they scored. I can't remember who scored the world.
Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
Talk about it later.
Great goal.
Yeah.
Brighton smashed Grimsby 5-0.
Yeah. To be expected.
Ferguson looks like Erling Haaland.
Brighton's answer.
He actually could be, if he carries on this sort of good form, he could actually be Brighton's answer to
a striker.
The striker, the missing formula of that team they've always been crying out for.
Well, they've got a massive outside, or not even massive, but they've got a chance of Europe, and potentially, if they really go for it, it could be.
Imagine top 4 in FA Cup.
They could sneak into the top 4, which would be outrageous. But easy 5-0, wouldn't it?
I really fancy Brighton to win that semi.
Out of all those sides, I know Sheffield United obviously be well up for it, and they'll want to win as well. But
they're losing 8-0. They're losing 8-0.
Oh yeah, they should. They definitely should lose. But yeah, Brighton, they'll go into that. No fear at all.
No fear at all. And then Manchester United 3, Fulham 1. Doesn't quite tell you really what happened.
That looks comfortable, doesn't it, for United?
For 71 minutes, Fulham were bloody fantastic. Should have been 1-0 up. Should have been 2 or 3. That great save from De Gea from Mitrovic's header. That's where the game changed. I think Anthony came on, made a couple of subs, and then obviously they worked the ball. Sancho round the goalkeeper, takes a touch. Why he's not shooting anyway? Takes a touch, shoots. Willian clears it off the line, and the ref gives a corner. Whole of Old Trafford is begging for a penalty, and the ref is told to go to the monitor. Looks at the monitor, sends off Willian, and then this is when it all goes.
Yeah,
it all goes
completely
wrong. Mitrovic then shoves the official. Straight red for him straight away. Marco Silva's losing his mind on the side. Straight red for him. This is before. I think it took 4 minutes. It was just chaos.
Barbaric. It was mental.
Chaos at Old Trafford. Opposition's getting red cards thrown out everywhere. Penalties being given. But if you look at it in like the cold light of day, it is a penalty, and it is a red card. Do you think Mitrovic deserves to be sent off?
Yes, definitely. Right, I don't know what I think. Yes, definitely a red card. But Fernandes the other week at Liverpool has to be a red card. Has to be.
Do you think the difference is he did it to the linesman and he did it to the ref, and the ref didn't see it, and the linesman? I think the linesman bottled it then. He didn't want to like dob him in.
Yeah, mate, possibly that, but also, I mean, Mitrovic's reaction is awful, absolutely awful, and he's so aggressive in what he's doing. But yeah, you can't. Again, it's just another bit of officiating. It's awful. It's just an awful bit of officiating. If you're going to do that, fine. But other weeks you're not doing certain things. It's just And to be honest, the handball. If it sounds stupid and same old, like you just because whatever blah blah, it's because it's Man United. But if that's up the other end, I don't know. I think there's more of a discussion about it, and more of a I don't know, is it handball? Is it whatever blah blah? So. Yeah, I just think it's classic Old Trafford, and then another side, sort of thing Tottenham would do, just blow up, and that's the end of the game.
Oh, as soon as that penalty was given, heads lost central.
Yeah, it was done.
Because Willian, as much as I don't like him, he was playing so well.
He was really good, wasn't
he? Fulham deserved to go through for 71 minutes, and then literally, I've got the numbers here. There were just 265 seconds between Willian's red card and the score 1-0 to Fulham, and then Man United going 2-1 up. Yeah, literally just over 3.5 minutes, and then I can't remember who crossed the ball, and then it was Sabitzer when it flicked it in.
Yeah,
and that was all she wrote.
Like you said, nine players out, 8 outfield players. It's just impossible.
And then they made us four subs. They subbed half.
Yeah, go on, lads, chase the ball around. Good luck. Yeah, sod
Put on Dan James.
Yeah,
old club.
Tom Kelly came on, didn't he? Yeah, sod that.
But. So the draw, that obviously, and then Fernandes finished it off, got a nice third goal, whatever. Moving on to the semi-final draw. Man City versus Sheffield United, Brighton versus Man United. Games to be played over the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd of April.
I think, like you said, I think Brighton got a good chance. I reckon a Man City. I'm gonna go Brighton. I'll back the Seagulls. I reckon.
No, I fancy Brighton. I really do. Yeah. I think it's a bit like, I can't remember the exact example I'm looking for, but they look up for it. It's their time,
and they're
playing real. And Brighton, you wouldn't want to play against. And the way Man United were playing and have been playing since the 7-0, you'd fancy it.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be exciting, be different. Again, the final, if it's City versus Brighton, probably only goes one way, but Brighton have been very good this year.
Sheffield United are the first side outside the top flight to reach a semi-final since Reading in 2014-15. That's when Arsenal drew them and beat them just.
Yeah, I saw that actually. I did see that.
Alexis Sanchez double. It was actually a howler from their goalkeeper. I can't remember what his name was now. In extra time. But fair play Sheffield. Like you said, they're going to be in the. Yeah. They're going to be in the Premier League next year, probably.
Yeah. So.
But again, we bring it back to Spurs. But how frustrating is it to see Sheffield United that you could have got a home draw to Blackburn, and then like you said, anything can happen in a.
Yeah, we should be beating Sheffield United, but it is what it is.
Right. Should we move on to the European competitions?
Yeah, we'll do a little cover of the Europe in the midweek.
So, all the remaining of the round of 16 games were played, and the draw was announced. Will we run through what were the English teams? Man City versus...
Yeah, City got Bayern, Madrid, Chelsea, Benfica play Inter Milan, and Milan play Napoli in Champions League.
So it's interesting, isn't it, how the draw has been split. You got like draw A and draw B, which obviously, and that's the quarters and the semi-finals.
Yeah,
in the mix.
Yeah, that side with obviously Madrid, Chelsea, City, Bayern is the much stronger, and the other side, Napoli, probably on paper at the minute be favourites because they're walking away with Serie A, and I mean they should be, if they play Benfica in the semis, if they get through, then they should be comfortable in the final. So yeah, it could be Napoli in the final. It'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, it would be very, very interesting. Napoli, like I said, running away with Serie A.
Yeah,
and they're a bit of a quite hipster team, aren't they? No one's really seen much of them. I think most English fans have probably only seen them play Liverpool this season. Like,
yeah. No one knows. You hear stuff and you see about that. Is it
Osimhen?
Yeah, and the left midfield. I can't even know his name.
Oh,
Konashvili or whatever.
Yeah.
Butchered his name, but yeah, they've obviously got some very good players. And Ndombele, world class centre midfielder.
I was actually looking at him last night, and I was like,
yeah,
surely he doesn't get in that team, but he plays.
He does
like,
play.
He
yeah.
plays like a few minutes here and there. Do you know who does start for them, which is just nuts?
Who?
Zanga Inglisa from at Fulham.
Yeah, he played for Fulham, didn't he, for like a year? Yeah. He
played for Fulham. I think he played for Fulham for 2 years, but spread over 4.
Right.
Because he only played when they were in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So whenever they got relegated, he went out on loan and came back again, played in the
Must
Premier
have been in
League,
his contract.
and then went out again.
But yeah, he plays like he's massively part of how well.
Inglisa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inglisa, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon, I think I said Bayern Munich at the start of the season, so I'm going to stick with them. I reckon they'll win it all.
So it's Bayern versus City, isn't it, you say?
Yeah.
And interestingly, I'm pretty sure I read that they said that Cancelo can play in that game.
Yeah, I saw that actually. He said that, Cancelo can play against City. But even then, he's gone out there and he's kicking up a fuss and saying he's not playing enough. So he's obviously got something wrong with him.
Some sort of issues, yeah. You said Bayern, didn't you, for the...
Yeah, I'll stick by the Germans.
I think I actually said PSG, so...
And they lost 2-0 at the weekend.
Yeah, I'll get onto that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
I'll get onto that.
But I'd hate to see Chelsea win it. That would be awful.
No, I think my boys, Hala Madrid,
Yeah.
Alberto's coming over.
Yeah, true.
He's coming over to watch it, so
that would be.
Hopefully, we might even get.
Yeah. Madrid have got to beat Chelsea. They got.
Yeah. You think so? Especially now they lost last night in the El Clasico. The league is done.
Yeah.
It looks like they're getting knocked out the Copa del Rey as well. That's done. If Real Madrid now have to do one thing, it's win Champions Leagues.
Yeah,
and even when they're not even playing that well.
They've won it
14.
Yeah, 14 times now. So, and everyone each year everyone says, City or PSG, like Bayern Munich, and no one ever mentions. Not ever mentions. Is probably a bit strong, but yeah, Madrid are never they're number one, and they've won it the most out of everyone ever. And in recent times, like why would they not be favourites for this competition? So, yeah, Madrid that just beat Chelsea, and that's all.
Real Madrid Man City semi would be. Do you remember how good it was last year?
Yeah, it would be cool.
And that would be Man City's time, I think, to go. I think this year. I think Man City's time is this year now.
Yeah, they're a different side, aren't they, when it comes to the Champions League nights? They are.
I think just going back to last year, I remember they butchered Man City, butchered Real Madrid for like 30 minutes at the Etihad. But they had Jesus and I think it was Sterling, who I think they were 2-0 up, but they missed so many chances, them two. They could have made it. I remember Foden missed a great chance, but they could have been 4-0 up at half time, but instead they're only winning 2-1.
Yeah.
Might have even been 3-1, I think, but they ended up winning that game 3-2, and they obviously got knocked out in the Bernabeu.
Yeah. Hopefully Chelsea don't do it.
Yeah, moving on to the Thursdays, Europa League. I was at the Emirates on Thursday. It was a bit of a weird one going there because I was like, obviously I want us to win every game we ever play, but compared to how excited I am to watch and nervous I am to watch Premier League games at the moment, I didn't really have any sort of like emotion going into this game. I thought we'd probably win, but I think it'd be a great game. I thought we'd probably just have enough, and it was buzzing to see Jesus start. And I think we would have had enough if we hadn't conceded that absolute worldie.
Yeah.
I was
That-
right
just
behind that.
outrageous goal, yeah.
I was literally 8 rows behind that, and I saw a shot. Oh,
Because I
Wow.
wasn't really
Wow.
watching the game, and then obviously
You
see
hear it, don't
stuff, and then it comes like people talking about the goal. So I put it on, and I thought, like Ramsdale must be.
yeah,
Like,
my dad was having a go. I was like, it's not his fault.
no, but I thought, maybe Ramsdale's like slipped up and kicked the ball, whatever. But he was just nothing to do, was he? Like
No.
Arsenal, I don't know, someone headed it or whatever, and Ramsdale's basically in his box and just gets, just a brilliant strike, and Ramsdale gets caught out. But yeah, Arsenal looked out on pens. Who
Yeah,
missed,
so I was
who missed Martinelli?
Martinelli. I was
Right.
right behind the pens. It's the first ever penalty shoot at the Emirates.
Really?
Yeah, I was saying that
Really?
at the ground when it was extra time. I was like, there's never been a penalty shootout here, and it's the first time there's been a penalty shootout at an Arsenal at home. Arsenal been the home team since 2003. We only do penalty shootouts away from home.
Yeah.
But yeah, Martinelli missed, and then I can't remember who scored the winner, but they made it 5-3. But Arsenal historically, Arsenal goalkeepers with penalties are just
Bad
horrific.
news.
Like I don't expect you to. It's unreasonable to say you should save every penalty. And
yeah,
come on, at least
look like
you're going to try and save one.
And then we think that about Lloris. So.
No, but Arsenal would never ever say, like Czech was I first noticed it when we signed Czech, because Chesney was actually pretty damn good at penalties. Like Lucas Fabianski, I think he saved 6 penalties last season.
Yeah.
6. Arsenal haven't saved 6 penalties in like 6 years.
Yeah.
Czech saved 1 out of 14, I think, and it just irritated me because he won a Champions League with Chelsea, being a heroic penalty.
Yeah.
He saved like
Comes
3 in the
in, he's
shootout, I think, and he saved 1 in the game, or it might have been 2 in the whatever it was. He saved a lot of penalties. Ospina, skip, and then Martinez was just trash for us, just general. Never saved any penalties, and now he plays for Aston Villa. He's saving penalties here and there. Leno was a solid little goalkeeper, but never got near to a penalty, let alone go the right way. I think it all stems from Harry Kane as well. Every time he plays against Arsenal, bullets in a penalty. Like, our goalkeepers get never anywhere near them. Yeah. But no, it was disappointing. But everyone's exact words and thoughts as soon as they came out of that game was win on Sunday. It doesn't matter.
And I think
you get over it. And the way we won on Sunday, no one's even thinking about it now.
No, and that's the thing. Even if you'd got a draw Sunday, you'd have thought, oh God, what's happening here? Like, bloody hell, here we go. But yeah, like you said, turn up Sunday, absolutely batter him. You're not even concerned about.
And I said to my dad about it as well. Do Arsenal really need? Because Arsenal were playing mediocre football in that, and that's not sustainable to even win that competition. Yeah. When teams are playing well, do Arsenal really need, before they play away at Anfield and away at West Ham, a potential 2-legged game against Manchester United, against Juventus? Yeah. Do they need to travel to Shakhtar Donetsk? Do they need all that stuff? No.
No. I'd have liked to have seen you get through, but yeah, you haven't. So. Yep. But yeah, United through, comfortable over
very
Betis.
Comfortable. I think it's United's to lose.
Yeah, they got Seville. There's still Juve, Roma. There's a couple of big sides still left in the tournament, but I'd say Juve and United are the obviously 2 top teams in it. Because Juve have, obviously, because of what's happened to them in their league, this is their only route back to Champions League football. So they'll be going for it. And to be fair, they beat Inter at the weekend, I think 1-0.
1-0.
So they're obviously a very, very good team. Just a bad situation.
It's interesting, this Man United team. They just remind me of that Mourinho team he had when he first joined, when they won the Carling Cup and they won the Europa League. I think it's Man United to lose. I did actually have to cancel my hotel for Budapest.
Did you actually book one?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh.
Well, no, they're where you book and it's free, and
it's nothing.
I did it back in
Whenever.
November.
Yeah.
I always
You never know.
Much as I hate that competition, if you can book a hotel for 30 quid.
Yeah, you mean
on paper, it was though it's free, yeah.
Yeah, but you should be getting to the final. You're currently, and you are.
We were quote unquote the favourites.
Yeah, but obviously things happen, and penalty shootouts is what it is.
Like you said the other week, Sporting are a Champions League team.
Yes,
they're not a very good Champions League team, but they are a Champions League team, and if Arsenal are on off day, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
We drew twice, and we get it's one of them guys. Arsenal aren't very good in Europe. They haven't been in my whole lifetime, so it doesn't really surprise anything.
No, but now you're out and you can focus on the league if you already weren't. So.
Yeah, no, my prediction would be Man United to win that. Or Juve. But
I
then,
think,
then they play each other in the semi,
yeah,
don't they? Yeah.
If they, do they, is that definite? Or?
Mm.
Oh, they do. Okay, I was gonna say if they don't face each other, it should be those two in the final. But
Yeah, quote me on that. I'll back myself.
Well, moving on to the Conference League.
What
West
is this?
Ham United.
What is this? But West Ham will win this.
That's what I'm saying. West Ham. I've got here. West Ham through. Are they the favourites?
Yeah, 100%.
They've got Ghent in the next round. Villarreal are out. Lazio are out.
Lazio are out.
They got beat by Alkmaar or something. Yeah.
Oh
and Ghent weren't Ghent in West Ham's group, or they've played them before. No, and I think Anderlecht is still in. West Ham battered Anderlecht in both games. They've got, like I said, Ghent who are just so bad. Fiorentina left in it. They're a mid-table Italian side, and West Ham, yes, they're having a shocker in the league, and they could potentially go down. They're having a bad season, but it's still that Premier League, that English football. Like, for example, Chelsea beat Dortmund. Chelsea a mid-table side this year, but in Europe, when they play against other European sides, it's just a totally different level. And yeah, West Ham could quite comfortably win that competition.
Yeah, I think they will. Like I said, it's a bit like their run in the Europa League last year. It's a nice little break, and it's a best break for the fans. I don't have to think about this relegation slog. That like I just said about going to the Emirates. I wasn't nervous. There's no built-up anxiety about are we going to do it? Are we finally going to do it? It doesn't really. Like West Ham fans just go there. It's a freebie every time. It's nice.
Yeah.
And the players probably feel that relaxation. They can play nicer football. It's less pressurised. So I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I don't think that competition should exist personally, because I don't really see the point of it.
Yeah, to qualify, you finish 7th, don't you, in the league? Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's obviously just a money maker for someone and somewhere along the line. But
I mean, it's a bit like, how far do you go down with it? Do you then do
a relegation European?
Or do you do a championship one, like where like Burnley can play? I don't know, someone from
Barcelona B or something.
Yeah, like do we do stuff like that? Like I don't know, like is that how far it's going to go? But no, I fancy West Ham for that. What other teams did you say? What was the Italian team that you've got?
Fiorentina, the biggest and best side probably. But apart from that, it's like the West Ham got Ghent. There's Anderlecht, Alkmaar. Yeah, just poor sides and the West Ham, comfortable. And them games will be played in a few weeks after this god-awful international break is over. Yeah. What is all that about? Well, don't know. Fraser Forster, England's number one. We can touch on that quickly. Like, what on earth is going on there? Like, Mark. I was about to say Mark Rashford. Marcus Rashford, Mason Mount has dropped out, and so has Nick Pope, and it's been replaced so far by Fraser. Big Forster. Fraser. Wow, 34-year-old, 35-year-old Fraser Forster. Quality. I mean, I won't go on for it too long. We'll just run through the squad quickly for you listeners. Some of the players in here, my God. Like, I'm going to speak for literally 5 minutes max, and that's it. That's a lot. Dyer, Gay, Maguire, Calvin Phillips, Mason Mount. What? Where have these players deserved to get back in this England squad? What? Ben White's not in the squad, is he? But Ben White will not play for England again until Gareth Southgate is left. There's obviously, something's gone terribly wrong there. But Ben White just should be in the team, like let alone the squad. He should be starting, not involved at all. No one can tell me Mark Gay is having a better season. Harry Maguire. Oh, Mark Harry Gay. Maguire. I lost my head for like full on half an hour when I felt like he's in the squad. Why? Like, give me one reason. What's he done since the World Cup? He's played more, but I bet he's played more minutes for England than he has for Man United this season. Yeah, got to be. But also the same thing. I also don't do you care. Pick? Yeah, but who does he pick? What do you pick? Give someone else a try. I don't. Do you pick like Tarkowski because he's played loads for Everton? Like, do you pick Cody? Do you pick Dawson who's gone to Wolves? Like, I'd rather have him than Maguire. Dawson's better than Maguire. No, it just is what it is. It's just the squad picks itself. But just to let you listeners aware, because I didn't know this until today, these are going to be England's first matches since losing to France in the World Cup quarter-finals, and we play Italy in Naples on Thursday, the 23rd of March, and then we play again
in Wembley against Ukraine on the Sunday, March the 26th. And they mark the beginning of the Euro 2008 qualification campaign, which will be held in England. And along with Ukraine, Italy, and England, the other teams are North Macedonia and Malta.
Well, I wasn't even listening. International break, just get out of the way.
It's just, it's a killer, isn't it? So, yeah, don't know if he's going to call anyone up for Mount and Rashford's place, but
surely Tomori must be. Like Dyer's in the squad, like you said.
Why
Maguire.
is Dyer in the squad?
Maguire.
Why is Fraser Foster in the squad?
Just take another player that might actually play, or whatever, I don't know.
At least Tony's got back in. I mean, it's probably going to be his last hurrah. He'll never play football again after this season.
Banned for life.
But there's the difference between this and the World Cup squad. Tony's in, Ben Chilwell, Reece James, and Mark Gay are in, and the ones that have been left out are Raheem Sterling, Ben White, Trent, Callum Wilson, and Connor Cody. I'm quite glad the cheerleader Cody's finally been dropped.
That's enough for you.
He can leave. Right, that's enough on me, England.
Team of the week?
Team of the week. Let's move on to Team of the week. Right. Starting in goal. Right, we really struggled with this one. So we decided just to do Team of the week purely on Premier League games only. We didn't take into account the FA Cup because we just didn't. But Emi Martinez was the only goalkeeper that kept a clean sheet, and he also made a couple of good saves at 1-0. And we thought he's got to go. He was the best of a bad bunch. Put it that way.
I mentioned Ramsey made a couple of good saves, didn't he? But nothing. There wasn't.
There's nothing special between the sticks this season. This week
wasn't it? Brilliant weekend. And then we've got 2 defenders, Luke Ayling and Taro Mings. Mings similar to Martinez, really clean sheet, comfortable home win, wasn't it? Ayling's a goal, obviously a big win away for Leeds at Wolves against a relegation rival. Like you said, scores again at Wolves. Nice little celebration as well. The Robbie Keane,
iconic
cartwheel
and
the roll and guns. But Luke Ayling and Mings for the defenders.
And the midfield, number 1 was Bukayo Saka.
First name on the team sheet, wasn't he, this week?
First name on everyone's team sheet. Player of the year. Absolutely outstanding again. 2 goals and assist. First player in the Premier League this season to reach double figures in both goals and assists.
Double.
Summer season, little boy's having.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He's doing all right. And just 2 good goals, a nice assist. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting these team of the week, son.
Yeah, it's good. And then the second midfielder went to a vote between Theo Walcott and Jack Harrison.
I'm surprised how close this was.
And
drum roll, please. Dun 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 dun.
And Theo Walcott with 54%.
Yes, Theo.
Yep.
Why did Theo get voted in?
Because he's scored. It's just whatever.
And he scored and got an assist against Spurs. Who was your left back that day? Perisic.
Yeah. We started someone else. He came on Perisic.
Oh, did he?
I think Davis went off early, like 35. But Perisic, basically.
It was like the battle of the 35-year-olds down the wing.
Yeah.
And then Isaac finishes off the team up front. 2 goals.
Yeah, it was good.
2 lovely goals. Do you think he meant that first one?
Yeah, definitely. He just wanted to score, didn't he? Just whether he could get on it. He sort of falls away and jumps and hits a volley.
Flicks it for the outside.
Yeah, whether if he was going to hit shin, knee, toe, whatever. He's good goal. And scores twice. It was very good.
Lovely penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah. That game, he was very good. Very good game.
And it was a lovely assist he got, but obviously we mentioned earlier the farcical of that. Awful. Can't be disallowing goals like that. But no, that was the team of the week. Was Martinez, Ayling, Mings, Saka, Theo Walcott, and is that Alexander Isaac?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Winner and loser. Do you want to start us off, Jack?
Yeah, my winner. Both my winner and loser this week revolve around the FA Cup. Winner, I've gone for Tommy Doyle. Like we mentioned earlier, he scored the late winner against Blackburn for Sheffield United to send them to Wembley for the first time since 2014. And yeah, what goal it was. Smashed it home, 25 yards into the top corner. Late winner, makes it 3-2. His grandparents actually, both sets, had played in an FA Cup final for City in the 1960s and 70s. And obviously, Tommy Doyle was on loan from Man City to Sheffield United. And yeah, he's going to Wembley and playing against them in a semi-final. So, good little story. And yeah, scored a well.
You say he's on loan from Man City?
Yeah.
Is he allowed to play for them?
I think they didn't say he wasn't. So
That'd be so harsh if they say no.
yeah, imagine. No, I'm pretty sure they didn't make a big deal out of it, him not playing. So yeah.
My winner of the week is Theodore Walcott.
Oh, for God's sake.
No, he's had. If you've got a birthday week, you don't get much better than this. He's had his 34th birthday on the 16th of March. He scored his first goal of the season against Spurs and got an assist. That was his 8th goal and 6th assist against Spurs, playing for Arsenal, Everton and Southampton. And that's more goals and more assists than any other team he's played against. And like we mentioned earlier, if Fraser Forster's got a call up at 34,
Walcott.
is Theo not knocking on the door? One last hurrah.
He's had a good week.
No, that's my winner of the week, Theo Walcott.
No, fair enough. Loser of the week, I said FA Cup themed. I've gone for Fulham. 71 minutes in, control of the game, winning the game, looking like they're going to advance. And then, like we said earlier, 72nd minute, the game was just turned around on its head. Fulham decided to lose their heads. William red card, Mitrovic for his outrageous behaviour red card. Then Marco Silva red card. And they go on to lose 3 goals in 18 minutes. Fulham Football Club are my loser of the week.
No, I like that. That was a proper heads lost
Head
loser of the week.
Yeah, just talk about Conte like combusting Fulham, yeah.
Especially for how well they're playing as well, just shocking.
Yeah, it's bad.
I never thought this person would ever be mentioned on the podcast, let alone have our own little feature. My loser of the week is Kim Kardashian. So, for you eagle-eyed supporters out there, would have noticed that Kim took her son Saint West to his beloved Arsenal on Thursday to see the mighty Arsenal play against Sporting and see Bukayo Saka. Arsenal unfortunately lost on penalties, but to make it up, Saka then FaceTimed Kim and spoke to Saint over the FaceTime, and then Kim couldn't get enough of the football and was back on Sunday to go watch PSG at home to Rennes. And then the boys think they met. Saint went and met Messi.
Oh, true.
Messi and Mbappe met both of them.
Yep. It's not a bad life, is it?
And they lost 2-0.
Yeah.
So the Kim Kardashian curse.
Get well away.
Come her to. Don't give her a season ticket. Get her in the Etihad. And I put a little joke here. Is Kim the new Drake curse?
No, I did see the media coverage of Kim.
Isn't it mad that just Kim Kardashian just get Bukayo Saka's number and FaceTime him? Just out of nowhere. Like, how is that happening? How has he woke up Friday morning FaceTiming Kim? He's God's child. He can't be hanging around with Kim.
Bad influence.
He needs to get his head down and focus. Got a league to win here, boys.
Yeah, that was a good one. Good loser of the week.
Kim, please never come back to the Emirates. Right. Let's go back to the beginning of the show. Have you had any thoughts on this?
I have.
So, let me just repeat it back
a good go, I reckon.
For the listeners. Patrick Vieira was sacked last week following a recent run of poor results. But can you name the 7 permanent Premier League managers Crystal Palace have had since 2013?
2013?
That's when they got promoted. That's why.
Oh, it's deep. Okay. So, Vieira?
He's the 8th.
Yeah. Oh, does he not even count the 7 before him? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Hodgson?
Yep.
Pardew?
Yep.
Allardyce?
3 out of 3 for the old boys club.
Yeah, the merry-go-round. Is it De Boer?
Yeah, Frank De Boer.
Frank, that's it.
I think he's statistically the worst ever manager, isn't he?
He was like in charge for about 2 minutes.
How
many is that? 4. Yeah. Warnock?
Yep.
3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3 That's 5. 5 out of 7. That's a pretty good effort. Did Holloway get him promoted?
Holloway did get him promoted.
Did he manage in the Prem?
He did manage him in the Prem.
Okay, good. That's 6.
Frank de
7.
Boer one was, I think, would get a lot of people out because he was only there for like 6 games.
Yeah,
I think he was there for 4 games actually. And lost
I only
all 4.
remember, because of that reason, because he was there for such a little time. It's ridiculous. 7th. Oh, who's their assistant or whatever, the bloke that fills in? Is that weird bloke with glasses? Like, has been Vieira's.
It's not him.
It's not him.
No, he's an actual manager.
Ah, okay. It's probably after Holloway or in between in that section. Don't know. 6 out of 7. Don't know. I can't even.
Do you want a clue?
Go on, give us a clue.
I think you could chuck him in the old boys club, and he wouldn't look out of place.
Was it Pulis?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Pulis. Of course he was. Ah.
Yeah, he would fit in nicely in that.
Yeah,
in the old boys club.
yeah. That club. Allardyce. Mark Hughes getting back.
Mark Hughes is the founder
old boy.
of that club.
Yeah, he's the old boy. Oh yeah, it's good. I like it. Pulis.
Yeah.
I've got all 7.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right, well done. That brings a wrap to this week's episode.
Yeah.
Thank you all again for listening. We'll come up with something fun next week because I don't want to talk about England, Italy, or England, Ukraine.
Yeah, we're not talking
European
about
qualifiers.
football. No way.
Nothing like that. I do not want to speak about. So we'll think about something fun to do in the week, and we'll have a talk, and we'll let you listeners know. But there will be an episode next Monday, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing and liking everything on the socials. If you want us to put anything on the socials or come up with any ideas you'd like us to talk about, then just let us know. And
yeah, and like we'll say, always get involved on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Leave your comments and thoughts and all the rest of it.
And we're back. We're back next week with episode 38.
38.
38.
Churn them out.
Take care and stay loyal.
Stay loyal.